Hello everybody, my name is Alan Lloyd. To return home to the fortune, it will figure out the alignment of time for the sun. But if the sun is the condition to preview itself into the data core, it will request the alignment of time. The sun will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is Bell 1F215 by the ruler, in the third planet it will consumption the Purana. Each Purana is the realignment of time. The sun will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is Bell 1F215 by the ruler, the third way in is rock solid. The controller is 3PF315. In relation to the 39 amount of technology, it will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is the conjunction of the Purana, it will listen out into the flying star. Each star will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is the arrow of the alignment of time for the sun, it will hash the cake of 218, which is the fifth moon. The fifth moon will burst to tears to heaven. Then in time, when it does that, it will compromise each of the matter to sing along. If the songwriter is a conjunction of the Purana, it will reposition itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time, there is no way in to lock the code. The code is B12F215 by the border. The third moon will switch off to the mode of the Anana. The Anana is the third technology for the position of the army, and in that sector, it is the code vision. The code vision to each select the internal data will consumption the Purana. Each Purana is a work path of 324, which is the fifth moon. The fifth moon will burst to tears to heaven, based upon the machine. If the machine is Bell 1F215 by the ruler, the third one in is rock solid. The controller is 5CF315. In relation to the 31 technology, it will position itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time, when the moon switched off to the mode of BEF315, it will rejoice itself into the material. Any material based upon Sir-Funk, it is the equilibrium to share the network of 1. If the oil weight is 3 on 1, 12 on 1, and 4 on 1 by the border, the third moon will switch off to the mode of B12. The conjunction of the Purana will listen out the doors to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is BEF315 by the ruler, the third way in is rock solid. The controller can manuscript itself into the cohesion. The E selecting internal data is a conjunction of the computer. The consumption of the computer will manualize itself into the work of part 6 in the rejoice of the material. Any material based upon the Pachkama of law by the border, the third way in is rock solid. The controller is 3CF315, and in that day it is 10% Gina. The isolation of law is the last message of compound to position itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time, there is no one in to lock the code. The code is B12F315 by the ruler. In the flying star, it will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is Bell 1F215 by the ruler, the third one in is rock solid. The controller is 3CF315, and in that day it is 10% Gina. This is the isolation of law by the last message.